Let's explore the weird and wonderful world of Aussie slang. Hey, who's got my budgie smugglers? Alright, so you're coming to Australia. As you may have heard, we have some very unique slang that we use here. So watching this video will give you a good idea of what we're talking about if you hear any of these colloquial sayings. Come with me as we explore Aussie slang in detail, and we're going to cover a few different topics. So come with me, because it's a bit of a wild ride. Alright, let's go. Alright, so you found yourself at one of our world famous beaches. What's some of the slang you might hear down there? You say, well, you got togs, cozzy, boardies, budgie smugglers, sure you've heard of that one, and a blow-in. Togs and a cozzy just refers to male and female swimwear. Boardies refers to longer style swimming shorts, popular with surfers, bodyboarders, swimmers in general. Budgie smugglers, the one you've probably heard of, refers to speedos. Why is it called a budgie smuggler? Well, it looks like you took a small parrot and shoved it down the front of your pants. Use your imagination. And of course, a blow-in. Well, a blow-in is someone like you from outside the area who's come into the area, and they're called a blow-in. There's lots more to explore. Let's go. Right, so you're here in Australia and you hear people talking about chicks, birds, broads, old ladies and Sheilas. What they're generally talking about is women. Okay, I know they're not very PC correct, but they are still used in Australian language. How would they be used in a sentence? Someone might say, oh, look at that chick, she's a bit of all right, or geez, that's a nice looking Sheila, or that's me old lady. I don't use them personally myself, but they are still used quite commonly in Australia, and so if you hear them, now you know what they're talking about. Alright, so slang for children in Australia. These are fun. I like these personally myself. I have used them in the past occasionally. For children that are still crawling around at home, we will either call them a rugrat or a ankle biter. Kind of fun descriptive ones. Once they get up and about and they're walking, we will call them a nipper. And then from about 10 and upwards into their early teens, we'll call them a grommet or a grom. They're all fairly descriptive, they're all kind of fun. I still hear these used quite often today. So if you do hear someone say, I've got a couple of ankle biters at home, now you know what they're talking about. Or if they say, oh yeah, my little nippers, now you know. Okay, all right, there's lots more to explore. Let's go. All right, slang for alcohol. There's heaps. It's never ending, but let's cover the most important ones. Starting off with the gunny sack. Gunny sack, the gunny sack refers to cask wine. So if someone says to you, can you pop down the shop and get a gunny sack? They're just referring to cask wine. The next one off the rank should be a slab of beer. What is a slab of beer, you say? Well, a slab of beer is just referring to a case of beer. So if they say, can you pop down and get a slab of beer? That's what they're talking about. If someone asks you, would you like a drop of plonk? They're referring to, would you like a little bit of wine? If they invite you round to the house for a piss up, they're not talking about doing the bubbler. They're talking about coming around to get on the piss and so have your drinking game on, because that's what they're talking about. There's heaps more. One last one, the good one. If they say, can you go to the fridge and get us a tinny? They're asking you to get a cold can of beer from the fridge. They're fun. I still hear them used today. So now you know what they are. If you're here and you hear them, you'll know what they're talking about. Let's move on. All right, slang for food. There's heaps. Let's cover the most important ones. If someone asks you if you want a sanger, they are referring to a sandwich. But be careful, might have Vegemite on it. And if you're not a fan of Vegemite, you're in for a surprise. If someone asks you if you want a banger, they're not asking you if you want a punch up, they're asking you if you want a sausage from the barbecue. If someone asks you if you want some grub or tucker, they're not talking about grubs, they're actually talking about food in general. So it could be anything. So if you're hungry and you say, I want some tucker, people will know you're hungry. If someone asks you if you want some barra, they are talking about one of our local beautiful fishes, which is absolutely delicious, and I recommend you try it. So there's some of the sort of local slang for food that you might hear. I still hear them used today, and you might too if you're here in Australia. All right, let's move on. One of the things that confuses people the most when they come to Australia is that we put O on the end of just about everything we can. We do this with names, we do this with names of things, and a whole bunch of other stuff. Examples of this would be names like Steve-O, Robbo, Dave-O, Avo, which is an avocado, Arvo, which means afternoon, see how it works, Devo, which means I'm devastated, Defo, which means definitely. So there's heaps of things that we do this to. If you're not sure and someone says one of those words, just ask for a bit of clarification because they are pretty confusing and they can make life hard if you're trying to decipher what someone's trying to tell you. So be on the lookout for them. They will happen while you're here. All right, let's move on to some others. All right, slang for things that are broken. These are fun, I like these, and I don't personally use them myself, but they do make me smile when I hear them. If something is broken down and no longer working, some of the slang we might use is stuffed, knackered, buggered, rooted. Be careful with one or two of those because they do have dual meanings. How would we use these in a sentence? We might say, oh, nah mate, she's knackered. Or we might say, nah mate, it's totally stuffed. And that's how we'd use it in a sentence. So if you hear that, they might be trying to tell you that something's broken down and no longer working. All right, there's more to explore. Let's move on. All right, random slang. There's heaps of it. I'm going to leave a Urban Dictionary in the description so that you can read through them and get more out of them. I'm just going to give you a couple to get you started. If someone comes up to you and uses the word pash, they might say, yeah, give us a bit of a pash. They're asking you for a bit of a kiss. That's your business. It's up to you. If somebody says chock-a-block, they might say, oh, it's totally chock-a-block. They're saying that nothing more will fit in there. If they put the word bloody or struth in front of a word, that's like an exclamation. They might say, bloody hell, or struth, that's bloody fool. That's what they're talking about. There's a whole bunch more. I will leave an Urban Dictionary in the description. Have a read through it because you will have a bit of a laugh and they're good fun. All right, Aussie slang. I hope you've learned some and I hope you get to use some while you're here on your holiday. Of course, I have left the Urban Dictionary in the description. Have a read through. You can learn some more. If you're out bushwalking, make sure you keep an eye out for those pesky drop bears and bunyips because they are quite dangerous. And make sure you've got a big stick with you and you'll be able to ward them off. Apart from that, I will see you on the next video and bye for now.